Hello, everybody. Um, welcome to another town hall, the third town hall of Fund 5. Um, I think I think before we kind of like get rolling, just wanted to start with a bit of an apology, because we had this fund, we had two things that didn't happen according to our plans. One was there was some delay in the rewarding, and I'm happy that that's been already fixed and all the rewards been sent. And also with Fund 4, we were supposed to start registration today, and that also will start later. And so I just want to say, just share on behalf of our team, that that we're sorry. We're aware that because of such delays, we have literally hundreds of teams, okay, that are need to wait and be patient and wait a bit longer until registration and voting can start, so they can eventually get funding. So really, my deep apologies to you. The reasons for the delay is it's like the story of our success. And in the last 6 months, we grew from nothing into the largest decentralized innovation fund in the world, with tens of thousands of users. And I think we're going to get to probably later in the year to 100,000. And this has introduced unique challenges of how we scale up the system. And we wanted the experience of the voting experience of Fund 4 to be much better than the previous ones. And so we're taking this a bit extra time to make sure that everything is ready for you all. So I hope you understand. Of course, our own team, we have our own internal process, how to make sure that reduce the risks of future delays, and we will share with you our conclusions and also plan going forward in the coming weeks. All right, so saying that, I do want to welcome Megan and Manfo from the WADA Alliance to the town hall.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'd love to hear a bit about both your project and about how you eventually got funding.
Yeah, definitely. So Megan Hess here from WADA Alliance, West Africa Decentralized Alliance, and my partner Manfo,
Hi there.
technical lead. So, just a bit of a sort of a story about WADA. It started with Mercy, even in funding round one. And then it grew a bit in round 2. And then we joined sort of in round 3. So I'll sort of focus most of this conversation on the things I know, so as to not sort of misrepresent anything from the past. We developed, sort of an all-encompassing proposal. Our main mission at WADA is to connect African developers to the Cardano ecosystem. And we have sort of 3 pillars on which to do that: education, dApp creation, and infrastructure. So one thing that we are doing is opening up developer hubs throughout West Africa, and very quickly expanding through other parts of Africa. Us ourselves, we're opening a hub in Cameroon, which is sort of right on the cusp. Conversationally, people like to group us in with West Africa, but technically, geographically, it would be Central Africa. But I digress. So Fund 3, we had a proposal asking for around 31K. We did get enough votes to pass. However, the amount left in the pot, as it were, was about, was it 28? So unfortunately, we kind of missed the mark for funding, which was a bit disappointing because, well, sort of we're doing this work anyways. It wasn't something that we were waiting for funding to start. It was sort of, the ball was in motion. So it was a bit of a setback sort of internally for us. However, you know, we got some really overwhelming support from the community, notably, you know, some of our supporters, such as Gary Golden. He reached out to us saying, you know, I'd love to support you guys. I have some outreach. Maybe we could do a little fundraiser to kind of get this gap amount. And then, you know, very quickly, we got an opportunity to be on Rick's show, Cardano Live, where we decided to sort of announce this fundraiser. And we were planning a follow-up. So that would have been on the Thursday. And then a follow-up we were planning on Sunday for a 12-hour WADA story marathon. What actually happened, we kind of got the funding very quickly. We were so grateful and, you know, just overwhelmed in a positive way with the support from the community. We got our first 50 Friends of WADA to support us in, you know, almost 24 hours. It was incredible and very heartwarming to have had that support. And so we got to turn our 12-hour live event, instead of into a fundraising campaign, into a thank you event to sort of showcase a lot of the projects that we're able to push forwards with.
That's so incredible. I mean, it's really amazing. I mean, the persistence is this, you know, it's like fund one, fund two, fund three. I looked at the results again. They were, you always like almost got in. It's like, I mean, such resilience, such strength of will and showing initiative. I think all of us in the community really appreciate the hard work you did. And I think this is why you also got donations so quickly. I think people saw this characteristic within you. So I don't know, what do you think can the Catalyst program, the Catalyst community can learn from this experience?
That's a good question, and I have kind of two things to say about it. But do you want to say something first?
Sure.
Yeah. I've been talking a lot.
First of all, thank you for having us, you know, on the show. We are really grateful for that. And it all goes back to what the Cardano community is all about, right? Like what we went through with this wonderful experience just show us how much we could count on the community. It's so we feel blessed. On my perspective, I think we have a wonderful lesson to learn here as a community, and to take a break and look at how we could, you know, come up with maybe better solutions. I'm thinking specifically about what Megan suggested, looking into having an option where we can have like a portion of.
Oh, let me present
funding.
my option. So I have, you know, I have sort of, these are my two thoughts on the matter. I think that, you know, as a user, it might be interesting to have an option when you're submitting a project to provide some kind of sliding scale or some indication of, you know, I will be doing this anyway and will accept sort of any amount, you know, in this range. So like, for example, when we're creating projects, right, how often is our budget 100% sound? You know, it's either a little bit above what we actually need or a little bit below. And it's really tricky when you're entering a project into Project Catalyst to come up with a number. Do you go under budget to sort of like make it as tight as possible and hope to get funding? Do you go a little bit over because there are always sort of les imprévus, sort of unexpected circumstances? It's kind of a tricky question when you're applying for funding. So
right. It's like there's like a one. It's not necessarily like a 1-0, but it's actually there's like a range of funding that would enable you to do different things, and maybe including something like that in Catalyst. So, I mean, I think it's a great idea, and I think definitely we're going to consider it and see what we can do. Right now, we're kind of struggling, not struggling, but we're trying to take care of the fundamentals of like the scaling up. But I think it's a wonderful idea. I think another thing that you've opened up for the community is the opportunity for kind of like a secondary round of donations, right? Like after the initial funding. So somehow kind of Catalyst kind of gives some kind of legitimacy to projects, and maybe even if not everybody gets funded, there's alternative paths that are open, and I'd love to see bottom-up community initiatives for people that can make it easier for future teams, right? To kind of like ask donations kind of like immediately after. One thing, sorry, I wanted to add something.
Oh, well, no, I just wanted to kind of bring to light, there are sort of two different kinds of proposers in Catalyst. There are some people that are maybe just throwing out an idea, waiting for it to get funded to see if they want to go ahead with it, versus people that, are doing the work anyways, are doing anything possible to get funding for their project that may be going outside of Catalyst, that may be doing other things as well. So, that's sort of something that could also distinguish, for this, if there's a button that you can push for. Is it an all or nothing proposal, or is it something else?
Great, thanks for the feedback, and let's bring on this more ideas and proposals going. So I want to thank both of you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you
for being a leader in this community, and of course you were invited to join us as part of our cohort, our coordinator, and I hope to see you there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. All right, let me share my screen. Start the more. Oh, I forgot. I forgot to invite them to do the town hall invite, but I guess I'll just do it myself. Sorry for forgetting about that. So, welcome to the experiment. Things may break, lack documentation, differ greatly between iterations, disorient, overload, and inspire. But our goal is to provide a safe and lively environment for you to explore the highest potential of human collaboration. Welcome. So today, we talked with WADA. We're going to talk about Fund 4, the status update. We have a presentation from the Ouroboros of RINA team, one of our cohorts. And we'll talk about a bit about the week that was, about the stage we're just starting with Fund 5, the refinement, and if we have time, some Q&A. So, and for governance, we're going to start a bit later. So as I said, we're dealing with some of the scalability issues. This is being discussed. Things looking pretty good. We'll probably send you an update probably in the next few days about the exact dates. Shouldn't be super long time before we can start. And as you see, exponential growth is tricky. You look at a trajectory from 50 to 2,000 to 20,000, and who knows how many people now that we lowered the voting threshold are going to join for Fund 4. It will be fun to find out if we're going to break more records in this industry. Also an update about the rewards. So all the rewards have been sent out, I think, for the community advisors, for veteran community advisors. I think with proposers, it's now like in process, so going through some identity verification process before we send all the proposer rewards, and also the voter rewards. One edge case we detected was that we actually couldn't, using the methodology we were using, we couldn't send a fragment of ADA to participants. So we preferred to go through the path that we thought was the more fair path and just round up. So a lot of people who were supposed to get a fraction of ADA received one ADA voting reward. For all of you thinking about all sorts of like civil attacks and like building infrastructure for that, you can save your energy. This is a one-time thing. So next fund, this issue won't happen. But we think I think everything is for the best. Okay, right? I think that all the people who've been voting in Fund 3 are early adopters, are pioneers, and so a little token of appreciation for leading the way. So next, we have they're from another part of the planet, so they couldn't be here live, but we have the Ouroboros of RINA team. Let me play their video. 1 second.
Thanks to everyone who made the Cardano Idea Scale Catalyst Fund 2 possible, and thanks to everybody who voted for us. We were awarded the Fund 2 ADA on January 16th, and on March 15th is when the RUG staking pool went live. And with the sponsorship of GLBB, we deployed 4 Dell PowerEdge R640 servers in a Clo network fabric across 2 Tokyo data centers. Our staking pool was pledged with the entirety of our Fund 2 award data. We have dedicated the pool rewards to future RINA Cardano integration. The RINA user group is a diverse group of professionals with expertise in CCIE level networking, agriculture, we have both legacy and crypto financial systems experts, and with Internet of Things. The current membership is limited to member recommendation and in-person attendance. Future plans are to expand membership remotely through a RINA networked video conference solution. The roadmap for the immediate future includes expanding our use cases, such as decentralized data storage, NFTs, smart contracts, and applying for future idea scale funding in hopes to bring Cardano closer to native RINA. And we're looking to also update our website, RINAuser.group, to include our network telemetry. I'd like to turn it over to Gary Blankenship for a technical update.
Currently, we're researching how to evolve the R-Lite solution we have riding over Ethernet into a more native RINA solution over the dense wave division multiplexing waves that we have on the Clo fabric between the 2 data centers. We are using Ethernet at the moment, but we're looking at solutions for hardware rewrites of Ethernet headers or anything that we can do to accelerate the adoption of RINA at a high performance level. We are also developing policy. We have the Cardano node, so we are thinking about releasing NFTs for enrollment policy or security policy, or even naming policy. We're working with the Poisson Society with their open root solution. And we might actually integrate that in the future into our Ouroboros with RINA solution using the open root names and to use NFTs with them. We are looking as well as developing a custom DApp or a DAF, shall we say, for RINA, decentralized application for time. Currently on the internet, we have a lot of problems with time, and we feel that RINA is an excellent medium to develop a decentralized time application where we get time from an atomic clock and we can provide a stratum 1 time inside to the RINA network. And we finally, this whole time, we've been doing everything off of a part-time effort, and we finally hired our first developer that will be working on our projects full-time as of April 1st, and we are looking to expand our team as we continue in success with RINA. Thank you.
Hooray. Okay. So, thank you. Thank you, the RINA team. That's really impressive what you're doing. And what I hope for is maybe later on YouTube, or maybe someone can share here on the chat, like how to get in touch with you. Because I'm sure there's like a lot of people are fascinated with the work you do and maybe want to contribute. So hope you can share that. Just contact our admins, and we'll also publish that as part of our YouTube links. So a few things that we launched yesterday. We launched the Catalyst Coordinator. So basically the coordinator is like a fancy new name for what we call the cohorts, okay? Because we have the Fund 2 cohort, and now we have the Fund 3 cohort. So they're all under one roof, and we called it the Catalyst Coordinator. And so what does it do? Okay, so this is for the proposals that get funded. We don't just like throw them, like lunch and forget. And we try to work together on that. We all together coordinate efforts to solve the challenges that were defined by the community, that we help the individual teams establish trust. Okay, so for example, the video you just saw, right? So we encouraging transparency and sharing progress through video and through reporting on progress. We conduct workshops and training sessions. And also, this is a launchpad for additional incubation programs. So I can't come with any announcement quite yet, but there might be some in the future about some incubation programs that are going to be incorporated as part of the coordinator activity. Another thing we launched was the Catalyst Testing Ground. So this is where you, the community, can come and help us basically detect early bugs, both usability issues, but mostly technical issues. If you want to help, it's very simple. Just follow this link, join in, and we, from time to time, a Catalyst staff member would show up and give some instructions about how to do testing. We already have, I think, about 90 people in that group, and growing all the time. And we already launched 2 successful dry runs using the group. So go bottom up community development assistance. Thank you, and thanks for everybody who participated in those dry runs. We got a lot of value, and the entire community is thanking you for your assistance. So now today we're launching the refinement stage of Fund 5. Okay, so we did insight sharing, right? Then a week of people submitting their proposals, and now we're moving to the next step. And part of it is the end of the proposal submission, and we want to thank all the new Fund 5 proposers. So we have about, we didn't keep a counter right on the last second, so there might be a bit more, but we have around 266 proposals who submitted. Amazing, also like amazing distribution of proposals across all the challenges. I think we were all asking ourselves, can the Cardano community offer enough initiatives and ideas on 9 different challenges? And the answer is a strong yes. and that is an incredible feat to see such abundance of ideas and teams and people ready to pick up shovels and get to work and to create the world we want to live in. So welcome to the process, or welcome again to the process for those who have been reapplying. So the whole point of this phase is to evolve the proposals now. Okay, so we have 2 weeks to turn these 266 proposals into hopefully maybe a bit less amount of proposals, but of higher quality in terms of addressing the challenge. Okay, like a better solution to these big wicked problems that were created. So let's talk about some things that we're doing this week to evolve. So first of all, we're going to launch a proposer checklist. Okay, so this part of the process was completely authored by the community. So through feedback, mostly from people in the community, from the community advisors, but I think probably other community members. You can see the list: Rodrigo, Len. Len was very active. Rodrigo, of course, Ken, Devin, Steven, R3 Load, Phil K, Derek, Vladimir, Felix, Rodolfo, Renee. Anybody else I forgot to mention? We really appreciate your hard work. They really looked at the problem of we had in previous funds about the load on community advisors and just wanting to focus the energy on viable proposals. So going forward, in the next day or two, there will be a new component added to each proposer to their form, to help you prepare for community advisor review, to help reduce the gap between those that are experts in writing proposals and those that maybe that's like their first time and the inexperience, to streamline the process, and also kind of like a proof of life mechanism. It's like not exactly proof of life, kind of proof of activity. Okay, a soft filter, if you may. Okay, so people that can actually follow up and evolve their proposal over time. These are the type of proposers we're looking for. Okay, not people who just like come and say, "Here's my solution," not listening to feedback. Bye. So how does it work? So it's a checklist that you receive, and you just need to go through each item and check. It's a self-assessment. Nobody, for you as a proposer to do. For example, that in the proposal there's an explanation how my proposal meets the challenge objectives, or that you check that you didn't submit a similar proposal in other Catalyst challenges in parallel, that you just picked your challenge and stuck with it rather than like spamming the system, and that you included the budget and not just the number, like how you're going to use funds, etc., etc. The important thing is to complete this checklist. So go over it and check the boxes and make sure you got all your T's crossed. In the finalization deadline, that is in 2 weeks' time. So people who are not completing the self-assessment checklist will not move into the review phase. Okay, we're not going to waste valuable community advisor time with people who didn't bother to do some ABCs in their proposal. So we're raising our standards, and thank you community advisors for helping us do that. And of course, there's this is for regular proposals. There will be a specific checklist for challenge for people who made participate in the challenge setting proposal. So a bit different. The emphasis is more about making sure that the challenge is in open-ended challenge and not oriented towards a particular solution, but something that's inspiring and not like, just like demands a narrow answer, okay? And there's like a few more items there. So that's one thing. Another advice for proposers is, not for proposers, but for everybody else in the community to help refine proposers is, first of all, this is a great opportunity to this week for team building, for joining teams, okay, for forming alliances, for finding a project within all these projects that you love, you connect with, you think you can bring value. And so that's like probably the most effective thing you can do, okay, to advance our mission, to improve the return on intention for this fund. Another thing you can do as a community member is just to give constructive actionable feedback through the comment section in IDScale. So for team buildings, we have a few tools to help you do that. The two, actually, like if you'll go to Discord, you'll discover like 1,000 tools to do that, but I'm just going to talk about two. One is in each proposal, you can add a tag that starts with SIC accounting, SIC African, SIC BizDev, SIC Biz Strategy, etc., etc. Everybody can see these tags, and also people can filter and sort proposals through these tags. And then, if I'm a UX designer and I see there's a proposal that actually SIC's a UX designer, it's a signal for me that to reach out for you if I'm interested. So make sure to include these tags to increase the opportunity of chance encounters, serendipity. Another thing is Greg Bell asked us to add a new tag called SIC Africans, because one of the biggest objectives of the Grow Africa Challenge is that it's also very tied with the local population. So we want to encourage as much of these challenges in this challenge, like to be teamed up in alliance with people on the ground. So use this tag if you have that need and you want to improve the value your proposal delivers. Another option for you to use is you have in the Discord, we have a pitch to devs channel. Obviously, we all want devs in our lives, right? And so this is a place to get some and maybe get some people excited about you. And you can also use the hashtag dev4hire in the Discord to ping developers. And mostly just go to Discord and hang out. There's like really welcoming community there and lots of documentation about how to find your way in that specific fun and exciting maze. So enjoy. Another tip is, let's merge our efforts when sensible. Okay, so now what's so cool about Catalyst? There's like 500 things, but one of the things is this transparent submission process. Okay, so usually when you go for a government, you submit an RFP, or you're a scientist and you submit for a grant. It all happens in an isolated manner. There's no collective intelligence. There's no collective awareness here. We all see everybody's submissions, because we're not so. It's not a competition. It's a maybe a co-opetition. It's a non-rivalry situation. So, we're all here to solve problems together. So if you see a proposal that's very similar to yours, but maybe they have complementary skills, maybe it's worth to join efforts. Proposals that merge together have a huge successful track record in Catalyst. Okay, so Gimbal Labs is an example. I think the NFT DAO proposal is a similar one. Okay, and both of them won in a landslide. So use this strategy. It's a really powerful one, and it will really improve both your chances to succeed and also just the quality of what you can bring to the table. And I want to describe for you kind of step by step how to do it. Okay, so how to get in touch with the proposing team that you want to offer them. So okay, so if you're in a Discal, you see here on the top, you see the names of people. So these are hyperlinks. You can click on them, and then you will go to their profile, and there's this little option of sending private message. So you click on that, and it's a very standard interface to send them a message. I think just be nice and civil. But yeah, and here you send, in case people don't know how to use the compose new message interface, and in the end, it will show up in their iDiscal inbox. So and we're probably gonna get also an email notification about it. Just know this is a very powerful tool. It's a simple but very powerful tool. Just direct action, direct message, start to merge effort, skills, abilities. Okay, they will also get it as a little notification on the top. It's really sweet. Okay, and next I want to talk a bit about giving feedback. So giving feedback is a skill. It's not, you're not born with that skill. And, the more we work in a collaborative mode, the more this ability is critical to be smarter together. And this is an exercise that anybody who's interested in a career as a community advisor you should participate. Okay, this is a great introduction for this type of role, and it's also like just a way to directly influence the future of Cardano, because maybe the proposer is going to listen to what you have to say, and in this early stage, it's going to have a vast impact on the future of the ecosystem. So giving a feedback, so just a basic guideline. Ask yourself when you read it, you browse through iDiscal, you look at the proposal, you decide it's worth to comment. Ask yourself, what needs to happen for this proposal to receive 5 stars? And then think about it from 3 different, what would give it 5 stars for each of these criteria? Auditability. So that means when I was reading this proposal, was it kind of accessible for me? Okay, there was enough information that I can even review and assess. Okay, so what would make it so auditable that I would say this is amazingly auditable, amazingly accessible, amazingly understandable thing? For impact, then the question is, if I look at it through the lens of the challenge, the objectives of the challenge questions and the metrics, for example, in Fund 2, the challenge question was, how can we encourage developers and entrepreneurs to build apps and businesses on top of Cardano in the next 6 months? Okay, so if you're in that challenge, look through this lens or that and a particular proposal, and ask, well, how it could be even more impactful than it is. What would make me feel this is incredibly impactful? What's missing there? What would I propose to add? And lastly, feasibility. Okay, so feasibility is about the likelihood. It's about risk management, right? It's about how, when I read a proposal and the people involved, am I convinced that, they're able to pull this off, right? So it's about the people, it's about the plan, it's about the scope. So again, like here, the feasibility can be modified. Things can be modified in two ways, where you can, on one hand, you can offer to increase capacity, like say, oh, you would need to add an expert in this field or something like this to de-risk the project. Another way you can do it is you can reduce scope. You can say, wow, this proposal is like really complicated. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of risks. Why don't you make it a bit simpler? Maybe lose that element X, element Y, and then it's much more likely to be completed successfully. So think about it and express it in this way. And the shadow side of this is negativity. Okay, so this inspires everybody. You rise everybody up. You help lift everybody up to be better, to listen to more perspectives, to evolve. But then the shadow side is you can bring people down. You can make them become indifferent or become defensive by negativity. Okay, and this negativity, it undermines their long-term goals. Entrepreneurs, developers, people of skills and maturity, they have lots of options in their life. They have lots of opportunities. Why would they pick Catalyst? How can we be the most incredible, innovative place on this planet if we treat our most valuable contributors in a negative way, in a bad way, in a way that makes them feel bad? Okay, so this goes two ways, right? For those who comment, be constructive. Doesn't mean you can't be direct or just don't be negative. Just don't treat people with kindness, even if they need good feedback. Even if they do really need feedback and they have a lot to improve, this is a multi-fund process, and people can evolve from fund to fund and learn and evolve, and we should give them that opportunity. From the other side, from the side of the proposer, like when you read negative comments, don't waste your time too much, your time and energy. Focus on people who actually care about your proposal, people who really want to improve and takes you to places that make you rise up and inspire you. And don't waste your time on trolls or people or engaging in defensive discussions. It's just like just focus on the what is constructive. So part of this ginormous feedback loop, right, that we're now creating between hundreds of proposals and thousands of people, we launch it with this feedback challenge. And what we ask is that you find, for each of you, we challenge you. Okay, we ask you, go to a D-Scale, to Fund 5, find 3 proposals that have no feedback or little meaningful feedback, and really dedicate yourself. Give them the best advice. Okay, so they can be as impactful as can be, and then go back to the to the Project Catalyst Telegram group, like the main Catalyst chat, and use the tag feedback challenge along with a link to the proposal you've been that you commented on. And invite other people to join in the conversation. If you do that, and if we all do that, we're gonna get a vastly better outcomes from this fund. So thank you all for stepping up. So finally, some helpful links for all the newbies out there. We love you. So there's an announcement channel. If someone just wants like filtered messages, just the critical stuff and updates about about it. You can rewatch the town halls. You have the IdeaScale website where the action goes, the main action is, and the Telegram group to share your feedback. The links to the feedback. The Discord, the incredible shiny maze of collaboration and where disruptive ideas are formed. Then there's dedicated channels to community advisors and mentors, and also for proposal owners. Then we have the test ground to help us. And we also have a dashboard. You can track all data, follow up our return on intention, reporting, how much money is right now in the treasury. All that is there and much more. Really get lost in data, literally, but it's really fun for those who are into it. That's about it. So I'm here to take some questions. I see, so as usual, I'm looking at the Ask a Question tab and answering them by order of like who got the most votes. Okay. David is asking, we heard Fund 4 voting has been delayed. Will this affect the timeline of Fund 5 as well? We don't know yet. I'll give a definite, I promise you by end of this week, we'll give a very definitive answer to all timelines. It will work out. David is asking, on a IdeaScale, it seems that proposals in each challenges are always listed in the same order. Is there a way to improve that so it's not always the same projects being listed first? Well, we have a bunch of different filtering buttons there. We might dig into IdeaScale functionalities. Maybe we can expose more ways to filter, because it's true, it does introduce some sort of bias. I'll seek out, maybe they have a random filtering, but that's a good comment. Marcin is asking, it says, kudos, any chance to use a better system? Currently, a lot of people do not understand where they have to click/tap to give an idea proposal. Sometimes it do not work, even if they have kudos left. Right, kudos system is, Dimitri says, I just gave myself 12 kudos and I feel good. Very narcissistic experience. The kudos system is, we're less using it right now. It's very prominent in IdeaScale as kind of a rough social signal, but it has a lot of weaknesses. because it can be engineered. In the coming months, there will be an improved version of Kudos that will be launched. That will be much more usable. And once that goes on, we will start to push it more and encourage best practices around it. But you're welcome to, if you do want to mess around with Kudos, you're welcome to, I think we have in our FAQ, there's a little segment specifically about Kudos related issues. But it's like kind of like not worth the effort, don't worry about Kudos. Worry about giving constructive comments, worry about joining teams, worry about helping funded proposals. Don't worry about Kudos. Kudos is just fun. Okay. Tommy is asking, once a proposal gets funded, how is the follow-up handled? Costs, progress tracking, reporting, other accountability mechanisms. Thanks for asking, Tommy. This is one of these things are now in like the eye of Sauron is right on this issue right now. So we're rapidly prototyping it. For Fund 3, there's a bunch of follow-up mechanisms that we're conducting, from some identity verification to we're not sending the entire amount at once, but we're sending the reward amounts like over a period of time, conditional on submission of reporting on progress. And there's other accountability mechanisms that we're working on. So like I can give the community like a quick preview. We're working on this massive like community bottom-up validation program for the community. So it's still early stages, but like imagine that we'll start to incentivize that part of like, besides being an advisor, you could be an auditor basically, and come and look at the reports and meet the team and validate that what they say is true, and you get rewarded with ADA for doing that. Okay, so that's kind of the system that we're kind of like starting to design. It might take a bit of time, but it's coming. Safety in Numbers Collective, nice, is asking, our collective, parentheses, Safety in Numbers, just submitted the total project in Catalyst under various challenges. For some parts of our proposal, we could use assistance from community advisors with a dev/IT background to help fine-tune the dev budget needed. Who to contact for that? All right, so first of all, here, I can just say it right now, or you can also publish right now in the chat that you're looking for some feedback. Maybe it's like a great time to gather some attention. But you can go to Discord and you will find, you can start your own kind of like proposal chat and ask for feedback. You can also ask for dev assistance. You can also, there's a specific tag for looking for community advisors, mentors, and they can kind of help you find the right people. Just be social, just be open, just talk about this need. You will not find one, you'll find like many, many people who will throw themselves at you with lots and lots of input and advice. So I think Discord is where it's at in terms of like this granularity of help. Okay, Tommy has another question. Should we use a separate ADA wallet to receive Project Catalyst funding to keep the fund separate from our personal assets? Yeah, Daniel answered it well. Like it's like that's up to you and how you manage your financial flows. It generally makes sense to have a separate address to keep track of these, but whatever address you provide, that's where funds are sent after due diligence. Hope that helps, Tommy. Greg is asking, is the town hall at the right time? There's a poll here with a link. Let's get more. Maybe we can mix things up and maybe change the time. I think it will never be the right time, because we're a global organization we have contributors from every continent. I don't remember how many countries, like around, I don't know, more than 40, definitely. And wherever a time I'll set a stake and start a town hall, there will be someone in the other part of the world that's sleeping at that moment. So, what we do want to do is we're gonna double down on these town halls. They're gonna be way more, like now it's kind of like amateur radio, like radio underground vibe. But what is going to happen is that we're gonna have we're gonna move on to this like massively collaborative way that we meet and talk together using like software that is much more interactive than Crowdcast, and it will be a big opportunity for all of us to get to know each other better and collaborate much more effectively. And in parallel to doing that, we would have 2 town halls, okay, to cover the entire globe. So that's gonna happen. I'm so excited about this. I can't wait for it to start. But you will know. It will be like really cool, and you will know as soon as I know when it's gonna start. Okay, so I think that's about it for now. I want to welcome all the proposers taking their courageous step forward with their ideas and opening it up for critique and feedback. And let's respect their energy and their courage to do so. Return the favor and be ourselves, be kind and courageous and supportive of their efforts, and let's make all the proposals grow and evolve like 1,000 beautiful seeds of love and unity, or at least some kind of like a good Python integrations, for example. Which is also a beautiful seed. So good luck, everybody. Take care.